Reverberating through the streets of the old city during this Friday's sermon are words about the true meaning of freedom in Islam. But it was also on a Friday in July of 2014 when Mahmoud Dawood, an imam, says his cell phone suddenly lost reception.
شفتهم للثمين وطوقوا المنطقة على السطوح وجت سيارات أول مرة أشوفها من هاي المظللة فوق 200 سيارة.
And then Abubakr al-Baghdadi showed up, declared the caliphate, himself its leader, and ordered all Muslims to obey him.
And that's exactly where al-Baghdadi gave his address.
Mahmoud says he knew in that moment that Iraq would be demolished. It's the only one of al-Baghdadi's locations that is fully confirmed. Since then, despite being hunted by the best intelligence agencies, there has been little more than brief sightings, spotty intelligence, and conflicting information. Saddam al-Jamal, a mid-level Syrian ISIS prisoner on death row in the Iraqi capital, says he never saw al-Baghdadi, but was close to those who did. About a year and a half ago, he tells us, there were attempts by foreign fighters to overthrow Baghdadi, but he had them all killed. The dissent within ISIS leadership ranks has even further shrunk the entourage around Baghdadi. The sprawling town of Eshtirk is one of the areas where an intelligence source says Baghdadi moved through in 2015, holding meetings with senior commanders in safe houses.
We've been talking to residents here, none of whom will appear on camera, but they were telling us that they saw ISIS's top military commander coming in and out of this house. And numerous sources say that this is where he was killed in 2015. And an Iraqi intelligence source tells us that this house is one of the places where he would meet with Abubakr al-Baghdadi.
There were also reports that we cannot confirm that Baghdadi was wounded in that same airstrike. A senior Iraqi intelligence officer says that on at least 3 occasions, 2 in Iraq and 1 in Syria, they called in strikes that came close to taking him out. For insight into how the ISIS leader may be moving around, we head from Eshtirk to the edge of Baghdadi's former hideout, the foothills of the Himreen Mountains. To the west of here lies a vast stretch of desert that leads into Syria. Exclusive images obtained by CNN show what we are told are ISIS spotter hideouts masquerading as nomad tents, photographs of the tunnels inside the mountains, how their entrance is hidden, life inside the caves, and a brief video where one fighter discusses his injury and they all crack jokes. This is where ISIS is training its strike force and still carries out sporadic attacks.
If you look at the landscape, this is actually a very good illustration of how ISIS is now being forced to move around. They take advantage of these gorges that exist throughout this entire area. And in fact, at one point, they were actually able to, while moving through these gorges, come up and attempt to plant an IED right here on the road.
Out here, ISIS still rules the night, coming down in small groups to murder, plant bombs, and steal. The Iraqis believe they are closing in on Baghdadi, but he has eluded them more than once, disappearing into the shadows of these lawless lands.